So I've always been fascinated with steam. And when I was able to buy my first steam car, which was not this one, it taught me the process of how to boil water, make steam, go down the road, and come back. That's the key. I ended up selling that car to fund other future projects, and I've always liked this particular Stanley. This is the Vanderbilt Cup Racer. And this, I just love speedsters in general and early racers, and that just made sense with this car. So I've had this car maybe 6 or 7 years now, and I really enjoy driving it. And last year we did the veteran tour with it, boiled water for 40 miles and came back with no electricity, just full mechanical, fire, water, and steam. We are in Smithfield, Rhode Island at my facility, and my business is vintage cars in some form or fashion, selling them, buying them, storing them, managing a collection, and everything in between. I grew up with this car behind me my entire life. Around 12 years old, my father took me to a car show, and I was fascinated by everything I saw, and I asked if we could make our old car look like these one day. And so that got me interested, and then he, around the same time, showed me how to mix body filler, and I was hooked. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that's how you fixed a dent and all of that. So I ended up going to school at Davies Vocational here in Rhode Island for the auto body program, and learned how to do body work and paint. Ultimately restored this car. I finished it when I was 28 years old. The whole time being a car person, but not in the car business. And when I was about 36 in my career that I was in, which was manufacturing, which was very boring, I took a leap of faith and decided to leave that position and start a business, classic car business. Didn't have much support from family. Family, friends, they all thought I was crazy. But I did it, somehow I survived, and here I am today, almost 20 years now. I prefer to drive the cars. The cars are meant to be driven. So I drive every single car I own. It doesn't matter how nice it is, how shiny it is. I enjoy driving them. That's the passion for me, is to go down the road and enjoy them for what they are. So the Great Race is something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do it with my father. At the time, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, and Dad was frugal. So we never did get to do it. And then once I learned that the Great Race was starting in Rhode Island, I had no choice. I had to participate. So we took the car, and it took me about 8 months to get it ready for an extensive cross-country road trip. It was wonderful starting that race in Warwick. I was the only Rhode Islander on the race, which was surprising. But it was a fascinating experience doing a rally, a timed rally. It's not just driving it. It's how well can you perform in your car to the second. So that was an interesting learning process for both myself and my navigator. And I'm not sure I'll do it again, but I'm glad I did it once.
So they say.
So I have a 1910 Cadillac Model 30 Racer that I am just in love with this car. It has some history back to the 40s and the 50s from the Lindley Bothwell collection out in California. He was well known for collecting early cars. And when I saw it available for sale, I it was at auction, and I was coming home with the car no matter what. And I just love the look of it. I love the history of it. And it's now well sorted, should start with a few cranks, a few hand cranks, and it's a blast to drive. Wind in your face motoring is the best, where you need goggles of some sort.
You can sell and bargain and trade.
Well, I always like someone, when I meet a young individual that has a passion for cars, I'd like to try to get them in here and be able to work with me and learn how to drive the cars. And, you know, they have to pay their dues, though, with a little cleaning and so forth. But I love to see the passion that I had when I was a kid. You know, I was fascinated with any car. As soon as I got my license, I would go to these cruise nights and car shows. I was just fascinated by these cars, and when I see that passion in someone young, I try to encourage them, hey, come on over here and let's spend some time here. So I've done that with a few people so far.
Simple man from town.
There's about 30 years worth in here. I kept buying it, hoping one day that I would have a place to display it. And there's about 30 years of collecting a lot of this stuff that I'm not even sure where half of it came from. To me, Audrain is huge. I mean, what they've done to the Northeast is what it's been needing for a long time. Many people have attempted to do a Newport Concours d'Elegance, and it's just never has taken off. And Audrain is just right in my backyard, and the shows and the tours and everything is fabulous. I love being a part of it.